So I've been living in Halifax now since 2017, and in these 4 years I've learned quite a few things about this city that I didn't know when I first moved here. So if you're someone who's looking to move to Halifax, then this video might be for you, because I'll be sharing with you guys some of those things that I've learned about this city that I wish I knew before moving here.
Welcome to Halifax, a city that has been in a lockdown for the last 2 weeks now. You guys can probably tell it's awfully quiet out here. It's a beautiful day out here in Halifax today, and it's only fair that we start off this day with a beautiful cup of iced coffee. So I'm on my way over to find a coffee shop right now, which is gonna be a little bit tricky today since we're in the middle of a lockdown right now. So most places, coffee shops, restaurants are currently closed. Honestly guys, I am so addicted to coffee, like I don't even know what's wrong with me. I love coffee. Like I literally can't start my day until I have a cup of coffee in my hand. And lucky for me, Halifax does have a lot of good coffee shops, so there's a lot of options around for me. So, you know, I'm always happy. Hello. I finally got my iced coffee from this place called World Tea House. Most of the other coffee shops were actually closed. This was like one of the only places that I found that was still open. And this is actually really good. It's the first time I went into this cafe, and yeah, really, really good. Right now I'm actually walking on Argyle Street, and this is where majority of the popular bars in the city are located. So if you walk down this way on a Friday or a Saturday night, there's like so many people over here. All the bars are packed. You can see there's like, you know, outdoor patios right here. It's, you know, I've had some really fun times out here, and there's this one really popular bar which I'm actually right in front of right now. Yep, right behind me. It's called The Bitter End. Every Monday night they have Martini Mondays, and they have like $5 martinis. And then right here behind me is this area called the Pizza Corner. That's not the name of the street. I actually don't remember what the name of the street is, but it's just this little area that's called Pizza Corner because there's a lot of like fast food options over there. So that's where you usually go after a night full of drinking to like satisfy your cravings, grab a slice of pizza, grab some poutine, I don't know how to say it. But now that I have my coffee, I'm gonna go find a quiet spot so I can sit down and kind of go over the topic of this video. We're going to talk about things that you guys need to know before you move to Halifax. After walking for 5 minutes from where I was before, I am right here. That's like one of the things I really, really love about Halifax. Like no matter where you are, you're always just so close to like these bodies of water. And by bodies of water, I mean the ocean. Right now we're by the harbor, which is technically also a part of the ocean. So now that I've found a quiet little spot, let's talk about a few things that you should know about Halifax before you move here. Number one is that it gets cold here, and I know it sounds obvious, but I just wanted to put that out there for someone out there who didn't know. So now you know, it gets really cold here, so make sure you're investing in a warm jacket, a nice warm pair of gloves, and a hat, okay? Because you're really, really gonna need it. And also, one other thing I wanted to say about the weather here is that I've noticed there's like this huge misconception amongst a lot of like Canadians that are like not from Nova Scotia. For some reason they believe that Halifax gets like unbelievably cold, like it's colder than like any other place in Canada, which I can tell you is not true. I used to live in Ontario before actually moving to Nova Scotia 4 years ago. I've lived in Quebec, and I've traveled to quite a few places around Canada, and out of all the places that I've been to, I can tell you that Halifax winters are the mildest. Well, okay, maybe not as mild as Vancouver. Vancouver winters are the mildest, but you know, the fact that we're so close to the ocean, that kind of keeps the temperature somewhat warmer over here. In Ontario, it would get down to like negative 24, 25 in January, but here the coldest I've experienced in the last like 4 years is like negative 14. And I mean, if you add the wind chill, you know, it's obviously a little bit colder. Now, number two is that taxes here are some of the highest all around Canada. Yes, so you pay a 15% sales tax on almost every single purchase except groceries. It could really add up, especially if you like go out to restaurants and bars, because you also have to remember that when you're going out to a restaurant, you have to tip the server, and your tip and your taxes are never like included in the price of the item, so it's always additional. So yeah, so if you're going to a restaurant, you know, you're paying like 30% on top of the bill. every single time, because 15% tip plus the 15% tax, right? So it could add up really quickly. So number 3 is that public transportation in Halifax absolutely sucks. Some people might argue that, but my experience with the public transportation has been terrible, and I luckily have a car now, so I don't have to rely on the buses anymore. Unfortunately, Halifax doesn't have like, you know, a subway or like those underground trains, so all we have here is like public buses, which, I mean, they're not too bad in the summer, but it really only gets bad in the winter, you know, when there's a snowstorm or when there's like the weather's just miserable and you're just out there waiting for the bus. And I've just noticed that they don't run at like regular intervals, so sometimes you're just out there waiting for the bus forever. So it's really frustrating in the winter. But if you're living in downtown Halifax, honestly, most places are like very easily accessible. You can walk to pretty much everywhere. You can walk, you know, you can bike, or you can take the bus, which sometimes you're gonna have to do if you don't have a car. If you're gonna live anywhere outside of downtown Halifax, I would highly suggest buying a car. It's gonna make your life so much easier. Now, number 4 is that it's kind of hard to make friends around here in Halifax, especially if you're not a student or if you're not working a job. And this might not be true for everyone. This is just something I experienced, at least when I moved here. It took me a while to like make some friends. I finally got a job, you know, which is really how I made most of the friends that I have right now. I feel like this is something that could be different from person to person. I've always thought of myself as like a very outgoing person, and I've never usually in the past have had any issues making friends. So it was like kind of weird for me in Halifax when, you know, it took me almost a year to like make my first like 2 friends. Another really good way of making friends is like through hobbies. Let's say if you like playing basketball and you start going to the YMCA, you know, you might find someone who also plays basketball, and that's how you can make friends. Or if anything, you can always just hit me up, I'll be your friend. Now, number 5, there's a lot of students in Halifax. There's like so many universities just in downtown. There's like Dalhousie, St. Mary's, NSCC, which is a college, but you know, same thing really. Then there's Mount St. Vincent, there's King's College, and there's like a couple other, I'm probably missing it. But yeah, there's a lot of universities, so a lot of students, which I guess is a good thing, especially if you're young, right? Now, number 6 is that most industries in Halifax are very, very undersaturated because it's a small city. So that's actually a good thing, because if you're smart, if you're creative, and if you have a good business idea, you can literally start up a new business here and be successful in like no time. So you can use that to your advantage, but that's up to you. How are you gonna use that? You know, you still gotta have the skill and the know-how. Number 7 is that Halifax has more bars per capita than any other Canadian city. Yeah, I know, crazy, right? Argyle Street that I was showing you guys earlier, just on that street itself, guys, there's probably like 15 to 20 bars, and it's like crazy. And the funny thing is, like, even though there's so many bars here, they're always packed. Like, I've never been to a bar in Halifax and seen it like quiet or like dead. It's always packed. People here just love going out. For a small city, it has such a fun vibe. Everyone's super like energetic. You know, you'll always find people outdoors. It's overall a really fun city to live in. Alright guys, so that's a wrap for this video. I was kind of talking earlier and these people just came and like literally sat right next to where I was sitting with like these crying babies, and I just had to move, but that's okay because I was almost done with everything I had to say anyway. So yeah, I wanted to keep this video like short and simple, but at the same time like provide you guys with some valuable information. So I really hope that helped, and if you guys have like any questions or anything you'd like to know, make sure to leave that in the comments below, because I'll be doing a part 2 to this video for sure. So I'll make sure to like cover all that information in the next video. And yeah, if you also want to have like a more personal conversation, or if you just need a friend to talk to, you can always send me a DM on Instagram. I'll leave that information in the description as well. But yeah, if this video helps you guys in any way at all, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to this channel so you can stay updated on the future content that I'll be doing. For the most part, I do like a lot of like travel videos, but obviously travel's been out of the equation with everything going on and the lockdown. But I did post a video like last week, I think, about like some of the best beaches to visit here in Nova Scotia. So if that's something you're interested in, I will also leave a link to that in the description, so you can click that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I will see you next week. Peace.